to tell everybody like the whole backstory and everything as to why we
Why
quit?
you're a quitter?
Oh, so you're gonna call me out?
Quitter.
I'm gonna be the quitter, huh?
Quitter. I mean,
It's all good.
We quit. I guess you just quit.
I think it'll be good. I mean, I know people are probably wondering. You know what I'm saying? So
Well, maybe. Maybe they're not wondering. Maybe they don't care.
it's true too. I mean, honestly, I guess I don't know. I hope that.
Think more highly of yourself than you ought, sir.
Well, I hope people, kind of were wondering. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
A couple faithful followers.
I don't know.
Hold on.
I guess we'll find out.
I'm glad to be sitting here with you.
Yeah.
Get it in your head, baby. Welcome to the edge life. You're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's the edge life. Oh, oh. Gotta get it in your head. Welcome to the edge life.
Man, it feels good to have, our song back and whatnot. You can't hear me?
No, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I cannot hear you. That's okay. I can hear you,
It's
because
all,
I'm sitting in the room with you.
well, it's all good. It's all good.
And I just look really cool wearing these.
We'll figure out what in the world's going on and why you actually cannot hear me. But as long as you can see me, it's all good. It's all good. I'm excited, girl. We are back. We are back for 2023. First show, episode number 3. How you feeling about that?
Number 1 of 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, feeling pretty good about it.
I'm feeling good about it because it's a clean, fresh start. And today, we got a dope topic that I think that there are probably some people who are wondering, what in the world was going on. And
Sorry, I was trying to tag somebody.
it's all good. It's all good. But I'm certain that there are some people who are probably wondering, why. And today, we're actually gonna come out and start 2023 off with a bang, and
And a clean conscience.
a clean definitely a clean conscience. We're gonna let them know, but before we let them know, what's going on, babe? How you been doing? How you been doing?
I'm good. A lot has changed since we last, were together.
Yeah.
Well, not since we were last together, but since we were last together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole bunch has changed.
A whole bunch.
Yeah. You want to tell them like some of the things that have changed?
Getting closer to finishing school.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm on the schedule with the National Counselor exam. So, yeah.
That's a
looks
big
like
deal.
Gonna be licensed pretty soon, hey?
Yeah, you want to tell the people what because some people don't even know like what you've been doing in school and all that good stuff.
What was that, 2001?
Mm-hmm.
Went back to school to pursue clinical mental health master's at Liberty University, and it's a roughly 2-year program. Just depends on how ambitious you are. So I will finish it probably right at the 2-year mark, maybe a little bit before. I'll probably finish up this summer. So, and I left my position at a local nonprofit.
Yep.
And went to work for the hospital in clinical mental health. I mean, it just, I was looking for work for my practicum because you have, internships and practicums that you have to do in the clinical arena, and ended up, with a job and a practicum as well.
That's the crazy thing. I know you didn't even really think that was going to happen. I know you kind of just went in, looking, to find an internship, and you left with, an opportunity that was a really, really good opportunity for you, and it worked for you. And I think it's going to, position you to be able to do the things that you really want to do. So that's a huge, huge thing.
That's really huge. I mean, I think, thinking about working at the hospital, it's kind of dream job-ish kind of thing. And just the benefits and different things that come along with that. And really, same great work, working in mental health, working in outpatient mental health, helping individuals with through group therapy, and then also just with follow-up to make sure that they have a counselor. If you don't have a counselor, you should have one. Like everybody needs someone for them, specifically for you.
Right.
That's so important. Our mental health is so important. So I hope, as we're in 2023, y'all, that you'll do something for you. And one of those things would be get a counselor, have a therapist, have someone that you can seek counsel with. So, but I'm privileged and honored to work for the local behavioral health hospital, and that's been a big change.
Yeah, huge change for everybody, But I think again, I think everybody's finally starting to kind of get the gist of it and get the feel of it as you're going to work. And I know it's been an amazing journey for you as you met some amazing people, and you're continuing to work and grow and really just thrive in that environment. I think mental health is such a big thing. You know what I mean? For so long, it's been taboo. So to actually, for me on this side, to watch a mental health professional who's actually, you see how I did that? A mental health professional. Yeah, who's literally going through the process to get your to get all of your certifications and all that good stuff as you get this master's.
It's a licensure.
Thank you. I wasn't sure what exactly to call it, but
master's degree and a licensure. Like, this is big girl stuff,
right?
But it's serious.
But watching you go through this,
I probably need a GoFundMe for my student loans.
Probably
Go ahead.
Probably so. But what I was saying is, watching you go through this, especially with everything that's happening in our world, and we're seeing so many people, as of late, who are having mental health crises and things like that. We're seeing our suicide rate, it seems to climb, and there are so many people, we just witnessed Twitch, Ellen DeGeneres' former dancer, commit suicide. We still don't know why or anything like that, but there's a lot going on with people. So, having people in mental health is a big deal, and
there's such a huge gap.
That's what I'm saying. It's huge, and
there's a huge
there's
gap.
a
There
need.
are not enough mental health professionals in the field.
Right.
I knew that before entering clinical mental health, just working in mental health, but it's ever more evident as I try to help people with follow-ups, trying to find enough counselors for the people that need them. And again, like I said, all of us need that support. I mean, the fallout from COVID.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Just more and more people. One of the things that I do is intake, and just having an opportunity to hear people's story. That's so precious. That's such an honor and a privilege to sit and listen to people tell me, sometimes their darkest moments. And a lot of times people are really embarrassed, and to just bare their heart and open it to me, and they don't even know me. I don't take that lightly. That's such an honor. But just to hear the stories, and COVID is such a marker every time we talk about it. And I hate to keep bringing it up, but it's there, you all, and we have to face the facts, face the reality that it changed a lot of us.
Right.
More anxiety, more depression. People just talk about the fear of being out into spaces and places.
Yeah.
Had a patient who was so afraid of germs, could not even get out of the car one day.
Wow.
And it is so real. That is real.
Yeah.
And, we see, like you said, celebrities are talking about it more. There's a great organization in Atlanta called Silence the Shame.
Yeah.
Just love their Instagram page. There's no shame.
Right.
I tell people that all the time. Don't be embarrassed. Don't be ashamed. You are strong to be here, to say, I need an outpatient program. I need to commit to myself. I mean, would any of us set aside work and everything for 6 to 8 weeks to commit to ourselves?
Right. Probably not.
Most people are not going to do that.
Absolutely.
Or to say, enough is enough. I have to take care of me.
Yeah.
I'm important. I matter.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, that means. If that means quitting my job, if it means, and I see people making huge decisions, major transitions. It's, again, like I say, such an honor. Yeah. Such an honor to hear people's stories and for them to invite me into that very vulnerable space.
Yeah.
So that's the big changes with me. And obviously we changed up because we stopped podcasting.
Yeah, which is honestly that's the reason why we quit. I know, yeah, I know a lot of people
just put it on me.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, right?
I think.
Go ahead.
The timing of it, how we had it timed wasn't good.
Right.
Mondays are gonna work so much better because it's my only down day, to be honest, because it's after Sunday, everything's due. So,
yeah.
Monday is my whew. So
that's the exhale day.
Yeah,
that's the exhale day. So for us, I know some of you are looking at the title, trying to figure what is going on. They quit. What are they quitting now?
We're just such quitters.
Well, yeah, kind of. The podcast, I think for us has been something that has been extremely valuable. I don't know how valuable it is to everybody else, but I know for us coming on, this is almost like a date night or a therapeutic area, a therapeutic time for us where we can actually come and bond. So honestly, I know personally was missing this time. This time where we kind of kick the kids out.
I miss you.
Come on, girl. Sang it, right. But this is the time where we kind of kick the kids out, close the doors. Hopefully the dogs don't jump in.
The dog's already in here.
I know he kind of came in, but
she always is in here.
But the reality is, we had an opportunity to like talk. You know what I'm saying? About different stuff in a different way.
I think it was more like intentional. It's just like to stop the noise, and this is important too. This is extra, like couples. Stop the noise. We try to talk about things when we're agitated about them. I tell my patients all the time, when you are PO'd and you are mad, that is not the time for you to be talking about things that need to be fixed.
That's right.
There are more appropriate times, be more intentional to say, hey, do you think we can spend a little bit of time talking about that situation that happened the other day? Intentionality is so very, very important, and we're just not intentional enough. So I think with the podcast, even though we weren't talking about, we talk about marriage, we talk about family, we talk about our children, it gave us just some intentional time to just set aside and just chop it up.
Yeah, and I know, like I said, I think that was, personally for me, that was a big deal to be able to, just sit down and chop it up and talk and not have anybody running in. Like we're literally having conversations. And I think it's about important stuff. You know what I mean? As we'll continue, we'll talk even more about mental health, because that's just something that's important. We have to have.
We all have it.
Outlets and places to have conversations and real conversations. And I think so often people feel as if they're alone.
Yeah.
They're isolated. They're by themselves. I know even as a man, as a male,
you are a man.
Girl, I try to be.
I try to be.
Right. A man.
He's a man.
Right. But
that's my man.
But it's almost as if, and I can speak personally for myself. It was almost as if I was conditioned, even as a young child, to be a man, and being a man meant you're tough, and being a man meant that you weren't vulnerable, and being a man meant that you didn't share your problems, your the things that made you emotional, the things that are going on in your head. So many times, especially for men, we don't verbalize what's happening in our head. So we'll go off in isolation, and honestly, many times that's the worst place.
So that
we can go.
Always is the worst place.
Right?
Isolation is the number one killer in the world. It's been proven. It leads to us having physical health conditions.
Right.
So as a certified personal trainer, right now, a lot of people are thinking about their goals, their resolutions, and all of them. The majority of them are really associated with a couple of things. It's usually to get fit, right? You're going to eat right. You're going to work out.
Right.
And
I started that today, by the way.
And some people are adding to that, which this is important. Maybe you're going to have some type of spiritual journey. You're going to, for me, it's reading my Bible, seeking God,
right,
praise and worship, something along those lines. But those are the three big things. But you know what derails all of that?
What's that?
The thing between your ears.
Yeah, your mind.
It's your mind. So, I mean, if you're not doing anything for your mental health, you're going to derail your... You're right about men, and I'm not man bashing at all.
Right.
Yeah, of course, in mental health, it seems to draw more women into counseling, both as a profession in the field, as the profession, and then also just at least in the outpatient setting has been my experience.
Yeah.
But I'm seeing more men, and it's so important. More men are opening up, because real men do cry. Real men do have feelings, and I think it's so important. Again, I go back to that organization says, I love the saying, silence the shame. It's time to silence the shame. It's time to put stigma to bed, and to allow men to be able to put their burdens down.
Yeah.
And for other men to say, hey, I'm here, bro, for you to put that down.
Yeah.
You don't have to carry it anymore.
Yeah. I was reading, especially with, the passing of Twitch and that whole situation. There were so many people, and they were asking questions. They were like, why didn't he say something? Why didn't he go and tell somebody? Why didn't, people would have been there for him. He has friends, and all of that I'm certain is true. Mm-hmm. But again, the thing people don't understand is, that's not in many cases the way that we're conditioned. We're conditioned, one of the things that I'll be very vulnerable and transparent. One of the things, and I say this a lot, and I'm trying to fix even my vocabulary. If something's happening inside the household, we have something going on, and there's a question that comes to me, and my response is, I'll figure it out. Right?
You're quick to say that.
Yeah, I'll figure it out. And what I'm realizing about myself is, when I say I'll figure it out, that's part of my way of putting me into my place of isolation, because for whatever reason, I feel like I can figure it out by myself better than I can figure it out in this relationship, this partnership. You know what I mean?
And when you say that, that's a cue for me to know that you're about to retreat.
Right. And that's real. And
you're about to try to just absorb it all.
Correct.
And take it all in.
Correct.
Now, what I have to change my mouth about and say, I'm going to lose my mind. I will put it out there.
Right.
Like, hey, that's my warning sign. That's my white flag. Yours is, I'll figure it out and retreat. Mine is, I'm about to lose my mind. Can't I get some help?
Yeah.
And so you can see how it's so,
It's different,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And again, we go back to that male and that female in many cases,
But nonetheless, it's still a cry out.
It is. And I think, we as people, the signs are always there. You know what I mean? We have to continue to be intentional to listen. When those signs are there, simple things like, I have, several friends of mine now that I'll text message and I'll say, hey, how are you doing? And the response is typically something along the lines of, no, I'm good. And so but I'll have to push.
That's always,
you know what I mean?
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I'm like, no, you not, because you didn't answer the phone when I called you. You know what I mean? Like, I know you're not fine. So I have to dig deeper. Whereas in the past, what I may have done was taking them at their word. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be willing to dig deeper, because you know why people die by suicide?
Why is that?
Because they want the pain to stop. When I talk to people every single day who have attempted to die by suicide.
Wow.
Every single day. And you know what they tell me? I mean, it's not to get somebody, it's usually not to get somebody's attention.
Right.
It's not to get revenge. The number one reason that is, I wanted the pain to stop. I didn't know how else to make the pain to stop. So when someone tells you, nah, bro, I'm good, and you know that they're not, you got to dig a little deeper.
Dig deeper, yeah.
Because sometimes it hurts so bad. You ever have that scab? Like, you don't want anybody else to touch it.
But you'll touch it.
but you'll touch it.
Yeah, you'll touch it.
But you don't want anybody else. You don't want to let someone else step in that pain, because if someone else steps in the pain, they're going to help clean up the wound.
Yeah.
And the wound's going to heal. It's not that you don't want the wound to heal. You just don't want anybody to see that you're wounded. You don't want anybody else to touch it because it hurts. When I touch it, I know I'm about to touch it, so I can prepare myself.
Yeah.
But
well, and it's your pain.
I don't want you to touch it, though.
Yeah.
But you got to push a little bit more, because, again, the main reason people die by suicide is because they want the pain to stop.
Yeah.
You got folks who you love and know who are dealing with chronic pain, having dealt with that for a couple of months. Check on them. Check on them.
Yep. I heard people say you got to check on your strong friends.
Yes.
and your weak friends and everybody else. You got to check on people. Period.
You need friends.
Yes.
That's another thing that's changed. You know, we hang out with a friend group now. We're really intentional about literally just socializing and having a group of friends, not just us. Like we've always been intentional about you and I having like a date night. But now, you know, we started surrounding ourselves with a circle of people.
Absolutely.
And you got to have that. Like, because we can't just isolate ourselves as a couple either.
Yeah.
Because that's still bad.
Yep.
Because we get turned over to our own mind.
Yep.
Because the two have become one, and we have this collective mind that we operate in. We got to let somebody into that space to, you know, keep us in check too.
You know, and honestly, you know, our friends over at the Kava Den, Traveling Gypsy, good people.
Yeah, we'll have to get Jim and Sammy on the show.
We'll have
relatively.
We'll have to, you know, just we'll have to get them on Relatively Unknown.
Yeah,
you know
Relatively Unknown.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But you know, the cool thing about you know, the Traveling Gypsy, the cool thing about the Kava Den is it's almost like being at Friends. You know what I'm saying? The TV show where everybody knows
Cheers.
Your name.
Lord have mercy.
Well, that one. That's the one I'm talking about right there. That's the one I'm talking about, right? Cheers. Yeah, where everybody knows your name. It's like, because literally when you walk in there, they do know your name.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's asking about you.
Yeah.
And, you know, just hang out, play games.
Yeah. You know, just have conversation. Like, literally, y'all, during my birthday, man, I walked into the place. I wasn't expecting anything. We just happened to stop by. And they had this birthday card. People had signed the birthday card.
Tell them what it was. What was the card?
It was a big old P.
It was a P, like the kind you put out front in your yard.
It was awesome. You know what I mean?
You know him, you know this is P.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
P. Diddy, if you know him from way back.
Hey, that's way back.
Yeah, pass the P to some.
Yeah.
You know.
But it's awesome because you're around people who care, that's people important. Who dig. And I think that's the point of what we're saying today. You know what I mean? You have to care
so people don't quit,
and be around people who care so you don't quit.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, quitting is not the thing that we really need to do. Sometimes it's the thing that we feel like we should do.
Yeah.
But it's not the thing that we need to do.
Yeah, when you look at quitting, like, people don't quit jobs. They quit the people at their jobs.
Yeah.
People don't, you know, quit marriage. Like, they still, you know, most people are like, say, oh, yeah, I'll get married again, or they believe in marriages or whatever. They quit because they're having an issue in dealing with the relational parts of things. They quit because there's a disconnect or a lack of connect.
Yes.
And so, you know, it's so important that you do dig and that you do try to connect with people, because without connections, people quit. And it's in the disconnect that, you know, we lose folks.
Yeah. And that's
real.
The thing that we don't want to happen. You know, we don't want to lose anybody. We don't want anybody, you know, prematurely leaving this place, because we all have value. You know what I mean? And I know that there are so many people that we come in contact with who are so valuable. I mean, literally they're amazing people, and they have no idea even how amazing they are. You know, they brighten up your day, and they don't even know that they're brightening up your day. Could you imagine if we took time out to share with an individual, you know what, you brighten up my day.
Yeah.
You know what, you made me happy. I know for me, one of the things that I've said in 2022, and I'm saying again in 2023, when I meet somebody, I want them to leave. Like my goal is when I meet somebody, when they leave, they say, you know what, that Phillip Edge, he's all right. He made my day. Right? I don't care who it is. I don't care if I just met him. I don't care if I've known him forever. When I leave, I want them to say, you know what, he made my day better. And that right there, like, that's important for me. What if we all could make somebody's lives better? You know what I mean? Like intentionally going over to people, intentionally, saying hello to people, not letting people be in isolation. I was doing I was doing one of my training sessions, and one of the things I was sharing with the group, I said, do you recognize that people experience exclusion the same way that they recognize and experience pain?
Yep.
So literally when people feel excluded from situations, from groups, from people, from emails, it registers in their brain as pain. It literally hurts. Going back to what you said, people don't leave job, they leave people. Many times, if you go back and you look at it, there were so many times where they were isolated. They were so many times when they were excluded.
Yeah, they love what they do.
Absolutely.
But they've been excluded. They've been isolated. They've been misunderstood. They've been not listened to. All of those sorts of things. And it literally can make people physically sick. I mean, we know they become emotionally and mentally sick, but they can become physically ill. I mean, all of y'all know that. Y'all have had so much stress on your job. Even some of you in ministry have had stress in the ministry that's literally tried to take you out. It's real. And we have to be really cognizant of it. Yeah.
That's right. I mean, because I think if we can just be cognizant or conscious of what's going on, it can help us. You know what I mean? Yeah. If we can be cognizant and conscious and recognize, you know what, I bring value to somebody.
Yeah. And I think the value that really has to be brought forth is it's giving people hope.
Yeah.
Because I think what I see more so than anything is just hopelessness. And so when you encourage somebody, or you appreciate somebody, or you love on somebody, or you thank somebody, or you just walking around like you said, making people, like, brightening their day, what you're giving them is hope.
Yeah.
And people need hope as much as they need oxygen. I really feel that people need hope as much as they need oxygen in a world that's literally, I mean, our world can be so devoid of hope.
Yeah.
So we got to be intentional. We have to be the hope dealers, y'all. Be a hope dealer.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I think we need to be those hope dealers, and that's part of the reason why we're back.
We're back, because if you don't quit, you can't lose.
That's right. That's right.
We're here to bring you some hope.
So we will be back on Mondays at 7:30, trying our best to bring you hope, to bring you a little laughter, to bring you a smile on your face, so that you know that there are some people out there who care about you. There's some people out there who love you. There's some real people who we gonna tell the truth about it now. We gonna tell the truth about it. So we're gonna have good time. So, baby, what else you got coming up? You got anything else coming up?
No.
Except these doggone basketball games this week.
Yeah, we got a lot of basketball this week.
I mean,
schools, y'all. First of all, if we're gonna have 2 games a week, why do all of them have to be out of town in the same week? And at home in the same week? Yeah. Can we, like, spread it out a little bit? Like, we have lives, the children have lives. I mean, they really do, y'all. So sports are great, but we overprogram. That's one of the things in this world that we do. We overprogram. For what? I mean, what are we rushing towards?
We don't even know. I
mean, because the end is definite.
It is. That's one thing that's for sure.
Unless you know Jesus.
One thing.
But regardless, I mean, what you rushing towards?
Yeah.
So those of you who are chasing your children in sports, take a deep breath and realize sometimes we got a little misguided loyalties, but we'll save that for another opportunity to talk about.
Yeah, because that one's going to be rich and meaty. Ooh. So we'll have to save that one for another time.
Swag. Baby.
Oh, so you wake up motivated? You wake up motivated?
I wake up motivated.
Look, y'all, a couple things. First of all, I got a new podcast coming
tell us
up
about it.
on Fridays.
Friday.
It is called the Relatively Unknown Podcast. It is a podcast experience for relatively unknown people who are really, really amazing. So listen, if you
need to know about them,
if you know some really amazing people who nobody knows about, who are on the cusp of greatness, make sure you shoot me a DM, drop me a comment, let me know who they are, because I want to know them.
Might be you.
It very well could be you. It very well could be you. But I want to be able to do a couple things. In Relatively Unknown, we're going to have several different segments. One are guest interviews. So we're going to bring in relatively unknown people and expose them to the world to the best of our ability, hear their stories, and allow them to be able to control their own narrative as they share their story. We're going to talk about news, sports, topics. We're going to talk about media, tech. We're going to talk about trends. We're going to talk about all that. And you know your boy going to give you the tea. So it's going to be a dope experience called Relatively Unknown. Do me a favor right now. Go ahead over to Instagram and follow at Relatively Unknown.
And the known has no O.
There's no O.
No O in the known.
KNWN, Relatively Unknown. Go ahead, follow us on Instagram. Yeah, share it with people. Look it up. We will be having a dope new YouTube page, a dope new podcast platform. So it'll be on Apple and it'll be everywhere. Apparel, yes.
Dope.
Yes. The apparel is super, super fire. So that's one of my focuses for 2023, that podcast, and just being a conduit and a platforms for people.
I mean, it's so important because it's not about who knows you, but it's about how you're known.
How you know. That's the tagline.
And that's what we want people to get that story out there, how they're known.
Yep.
Like their struggles, the real, y'all.
Absolutely.
The real. You know, P always keeps it real.
Hey, we're gonna keep it
real.
He's
the realest.
It's going to be like honestly, babe. This is one of those things. Like when it finally hit me, it was one of those things. Like, yo, this is what I was created to do type moments. Right. You know how you have those moments like that was this is what I was created to do. Well,
and I
moment.
hope you'll have an opportunity, or you'll take the opportunity to share like. You had that relatively unknown moment.
Yeah. I mean, I know for me it was a big moment because, actually sitting, with people, and actually hearing that, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like nobody knows you, man. Nobody knows you, and it struck a nerve in such a way that I was like, okay, cool.
It lit a spark.
It did.
You might have thought that it struck a nerve, but it lit a spark.
Yeah.
And because of that spark. It stirred up a passion inside of you to help people.
Yeah.
Because that's what you do. Yeah. So those that are not known but need to be known.
That's right.
Are going to have a platform to tell their story.
That's right. So we're giving a platform and an experience.
Give the people what they want.
It's going to be like when I say it's going to be dope, y'all, it's going to be dope. So make sure you look out for that on Fridays. We will be dropping next week different segments from the show. A lot of stuff going on with Relatively Unknown. So just make sure you are on the lookout for that, and make sure you're on the lookout next Monday at 7:30.
Yeah,
for the Edge Life podcast.
And hey, by the way, help other people be on the lookout by sharing this out on your page.
Yeah,
encourage them to jump in on Mondays. I mean, what else do we do on Mondays?
Nothing.
Monday.
Nothing.
It's our fun day.
So y'all,
I don't have to run day.
So please, y'all share this out with somebody. Tag somebody who may need to hear this, may need to hear what we spoke about tonight. And we look forward to seeing y'all on next Monday. Listen, if this blessed you at all, please let us know in the comments. We do read every single comment. Yeah. We will be responding to every single comment. Let us know because we want to be a blessing to you all. So
don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a comeback.
We've been here for years.
Yeah, that's how we do it. Edge Life Podcast, y'all. Y'all be easy, man. Peace.
Edge Life, you're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that Edge Life. Oh, gotta get it in your head, baby. Welcome to the Edge Life. You're too close to the ledge. We gon' push you forward a few steps ahead. It's that edge life. Oh, oh, gotta get it in your head. Welcome to the